You hit the gym 5 times a week. You eat clean. Your body fat percentage is in the single digits. You can run a marathon without breaking a sweat. But here's the terrifying truth that nobody wants to talk about. You could still have a heart attack. I'm not here to scare you, but I am here to wake you up. Because when we see headlines about elite athletes collapsing mid-game or fitness influencers dying in their 30s, we always ask the same question. How is this even possible? Today, we're diving deep into the science behind why being fit doesn't automatically make you heart attack proof. And trust me, some of these causes are going to surprise you. Before we jump in, let's get one thing straight. Yes, exercise is one of the best things you can do for your heart. Regular physical activity reduces your risk of cardiovascular disease by up to 50%. But reduction doesn't mean elimination. The problem is that we've been sold this idea that if you're lean and muscular, you're invincible, that visible abs equal a healthy heart. But your cardiovascular system doesn't care about your Instagram aesthetic. It cares about what's happening at the cellular level, in your arteries, in your electrical system, and in your stress hormones. So, let's break down exactly what can go wrong, even when everything looks right on the outside. First up, we need to talk about genetics because this is where a lot of fit people get blindsided. Familial hypercholesterolemia. Try saying that 3 times fast. This is a genetic condition where your body produces way too much LDL cholesterol, regardless of how clean you eat. We're talking levels of 300, 400, even 500 milligrams per deciliter. For context, optimal is below 100. Here's the kicker. You can be eating nothing but chicken breast, broccoli, and sweet potatoes, training like an Olympic athlete, and still have cholesterol quietly building up in your arteries since childhood. This condition affects about 1 in 250 people, which means there's a good chance someone watching this video has it and doesn't even know. Then there's hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. This is when the walls of your heart muscle thicken abnormally, making it harder for your heart to pump blood. It's the leading cause of sudden cardiac death in young athletes. You could be crushing PRs in the gym while your heart is literally struggling to keep up with its own structure. And let's not forget about inherited arrhythmia syndromes. Long QT syndrome, Brugada syndrome, catecholaminergic polymorphic ventricular tachycardia. These are electrical system disorders that can cause your heart to beat dangerously fast or irregularly, especially during physical exertion. The first symptom? Sometimes it's sudden death. The scary part about all of these genetic conditions is that standard exercise stress tests might not catch them. You need specific genetic testing, advanced imaging, and sometimes even a deep dive into your family medical history. How many fit 25-year-olds do you think are getting echocardiograms and genetic panels? Exactly. Now, let's talk about something that's going to blow your mind: chronic inflammation. You probably think inflammation is just what happens when you sprain your ankle or get a cut. But there's this whole other type of inflammation happening inside your body at a microscopic level, and it's one of the biggest predictors of heart disease. Here's where it gets interesting for fit people. Yes, exercise reduces inflammation when done correctly, but when you're overtraining, under-recovering, or combining intense workouts with other stressors, you can actually create a pro-inflammatory state in your body. Think about it. You're training 6 days a week, sleeping 5 hours a night, working a high-stress job, living on caffeine and pre-workout. Your body is in constant fight-or-flight mode. This triggers the release of inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein, interleukin-6, and tumor necrosis factor alpha. These markers don't just indicate inflammation, they actively contribute to atherosclerosis, which is the buildup of plaque in your arteries. And here's the twist. You can have completely normal cholesterol levels and still develop atherosclerosis if your inflammation markers are elevated. This is why some people with perfect blood work still have heart attacks. There's also this phenomenon where people who exercise intensely are more likely to have calcification in their coronary arteries. A study published in the journal Circulation found that people who ran marathons had higher coronary artery calcium scores compared to sedentary individuals, even though they had better overall cardiovascular fitness. The theory is that repeated intense exertion causes microdamage to the arterial walls, which the body tries to repair by depositing calcium. Does this mean you should stop exercising? Absolutely not. But it does mean you need to pay attention to recovery, manage your overall stress load is the first step to understand that more is not always better. Stay fit. Speaking of, but more importantly, stay healthy. I'll see you in the next one.